They've hung them high in Edinburgh town, and likewise are their kin, and the wind blaws called on a' their banes, and to hell they are hae again. I would like to tell a tale from the west coast of Scotland in Ayrshire, a short drive from where I have lived my whole life, and grew up with many local legends and stories, but none so blood-curdling as this. Hidden amongst the Ayrshire coast's craggy cliffsides, with the waters of the Firth of Clyde lapping against it, is Benin Cave. At high tide, its entrance is almost concealed, and many a passer-by walking to and from Girvan may not even pay it a thought. But if they knew what had occurred in that cave many, many years ago, it would chill them to the very bone. In the 16th century, it was inhabited by a clan of inbreds, with certain Sawney Bean as their chief, from whom they were all descended, and his grandchildren were the result of much incestuous intercourse between his children. The clan, some 45 strong, made a living from setting upon travellers in the night, robbing them of their possessions, whilst also finding that the busy road was a convenient source of food. And so, the Bean clan spent many good years ambushing passers-by and feasting on their looted carcasses. Over the years, hundreds of travellers, possibly nigh 1,000, met a gruesome end in this way. It was not known to the locals what caused the disappearances, and why so many dismembered limbs were washing up in Girvan, and in their furious confusion, many innocents were lynched by the townsfolk. But one day the Bean clan bit off more than they could chew, or indeed hoped to chew off, quite literally. A newly wedded couple were riding back from a fair when the Beans set upon them, dragging the wife from the horse and savaging her, namely disemboweling her. The man, a warrior, fought valiantly enough to secure his escape, something also witnessed by other folk returning from the fair. News of this horde of reprobates spread to the King James VI himself, who came to Ayrshire with a small army of troops and hounds to hunt down and destroy the murderers. At first, the search high and low across the region was unfruitful, but eventually the scent of rotting flesh from an obscure coastal cave piqued the noses of the hounds, and the full horror of the situation unfolded as they explored the grisly den of the clan. The cave, full of human limbs yet to be gorged on, and piles of bones stacked in a corner. A fight broke out between the Bean clan and the royal army. However, the inbred savages were no match for the well-armed royal troops, and they were captured, put in chains, and sent to Edinburgh for sentencing. So abhorrent and barbaric were the crimes of this family that usual Scots law was tossed aside, and they were simply put to death. The men, having their genitals hacked off and their hands and feet cut off, were left to bleed to death in front of the women and children, who in turn were all burned at the stake as witches. The story ends back in Girvan, where one of the escaped daughters from the clan had planted the jewel tree. However, her identity was not hidden for long, and the locals sent her to meet the rest of her family by hanging her from the bough of the tree she had planted.